Today we're taking a look at some tips and tricks to help you dominate the world of Pandora in the new game Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora. Let's get to it. Gathering and crafting your own gear is extremely important in this game. You can craft some absolutely amazing gear. Most of the stuff that you can craft is going to be better than anything that you can buy, and you can also customize the items that you craft depending on the resources that you use. But finding the resources that you need in the dense jungles of Pandora can be an absolute pain in the butt. However, there is one feature that the game has to make this much easier that it doesn't go into a lot of detail about and tell you about, and that is pinning the resources that you are after. When you pin a resource, it highlights that resource for you as you approach it without having to use your Navi senses. On top of that, if you are scanning around using your Navi senses, it will highlight those items at a much greater distance, allowing you to easily spot them. The items are also highlighted in a different color, making it even easier to spot them. So when you are hunting a specific resource, ensure that you pin that resource. It's going to make it so much easier for you to find it. You can also inspect resources. So if you use your Navi sense, once you do find the resource that you're looking for and you inspect the resource, you can see the quality that that resource is going to be before you harvest it. If you go into your field guide will tell you where you can find rarer versions of the resource that you're looking for. These rarer versions will have better stats. Speaking of stats, it is also important to mention that not all things of the same color will have the same stats. For example, all of an item can be green, but if you did not harvest it under the perfect conditions, it won't have the same stats, but it will still be green. So when you are crafting, it is important to ensure that you go through each of your different resources and find the one with the highest stat. Don't just assume that they all have the highest stats if you've just been grabbing resources all willy-nilly and haven't been paying attention to their optimal harvest conditions. The next tip I have for you is don't eat food all the time and every time you are hungry. And the reason for this is you will blow through food like crazy if you are doing a lot of fast traveling. There is no downside to fast traveling except for the fact that when you fast travel, it will use up 20% of your total energy. This means that if you fast travel a lot, you will also be eating a lot. However, the game does not penalize you or stop you from fast traveling if you don't have enough energy to do so. So my advice is to only eat if you have taken damage so that you can heal, or if you are getting ready to go into battle and need buffs. The only downside to not eating is that you do not regenerate your health and you have that constant reminder down at the bottom of your screen that you need to eat. The game does make it relatively easy to get a hold of food. However, if you do a lot of fast traveling, you're going to spend more time hunting and eating than actually playing the game. And if it's a situation of where you just need to eat in order to regen a bit of health, you're not going to be in combat, you took some fall damage, hit a plant, something like that, just eat some random little bits of raw food instead of consuming one of your meals that gives you a buff. Save those meals for when you actually get into combat. Doing these things will drastically cut down on the amount of food that you need to consume, allowing you to actually enjoy the game instead of playing eating sim. The next tip I have for you is the RDA seems to have issues with ranged attacks. So if you are taking down an RDA facility and you can perch at a distance from said facility and use your heavy bow to attack at range, they don't seem to have the capability to deal with that. The AI will just kind of shut down and stay there, and even if they do try to come after you, they have a very short leash distance, so the AI gets confused, won't really go very far, and will turn around and go back into the facility. This can allow you to thin out the RDA in a facility pretty good before you actually get up close and start to take out the other units that you can't pick off at range. Now, I do realize that you can adjust combat, so if the combat is difficult for you, you can just turn it down to make taking out a facility easier, but I just wanted to put this tip in here for those of you who do not want to turn down the overall combat, but want to just make taking out these facilities ever so slightly easier for yourself. The game's going to throw a bunch of skill points at you early on, but you are also going to get your Ikran pretty early on as well. I highly advise holding on to a couple of those early skill points so that once you get your Ikran, you can grab the ability that allows your Ikran to refill its energy levels when you get close to water. It will just pull fish out of water and consume them, filling its energy back up. This saves you on food because it doesn't matter if there's fish in the water or not. It can be any body of water, any type of water at all. If you hover over top of it while you are riding your Ikran, it will scoop some fish up out of the water and it will refill some of its energy. This does have a bit of a cooldown where you kind of got to just hang out a little bit over the water, moving around if you are very low on energy, but it is absolutely phenomenal skill to save you a ton of time and effort harvesting food that you would normally feed yourself and instead having to feed it to your Ikran. And it also allows you to absolutely spam the ever-loving crap out of the speed boost button, because when you do spam the speed boost button, it will use a bunch of energy every time you use the speed boost. I have not unlocked any of the other abilities that the Ikran has yet. However, I assume that doing other things with it, like doing barrel rolls or taking down the helicopters or whatever those other RDA flying machines are, but I assume those will also use up the Ikran's energy. So having this ability to just quickly hover over some water and refill that energy is absolutely OP. And that leads me into the next tip, which is the speed boost from the Ikran. You can spam the crap out of that button. So for me, it is spacebar because I am playing on PC. Whatever it is on controller, you can spam that as well. The game doesn't really make this clear. It just tells you you can hit it. And when you hit it, you will get a speed boost, but that speed boost will trail off, so it decays over time. If you, however, spam the button, you will use up some of the Ikran's stamina, which is the blue bar above the energy bar as you are doing it, but you will continue to get that speed boost, and that speed boost will ramp up a significant amount as you spam it, allowing you to fly even faster. But note, you will also burn through its energy relatively quickly doing this, but if you take my advice and pick up the skill where it can get fish for free, then it won't be a problem. The next tip I have for you is to check all of the vendors and check them often for designs. These designs will be free, so you can just claim them, and this will just give you more options for different gear to craft. You can also get other designs by doing side quests, so ensure that you are doing side quests if you want more options for gear to craft. The Navi do not trade in any type of money. They trade with clan favor, and you can get clan favor by donating things to them. So you want to ensure that all of the stuff you have an abundance of, old gear and stuff like that, you put in their little donation baskets. However, there are times where there are specific things that they will want, and this is denoted by a little symbol over top of that thing. It's like a little green leaf symbol thing. You can know which tribe wants which thing by going to the map and highlighting over the different tribe locations, or just looking inside of their respective baskets. When you go to the camps, it will also tell you what they are looking for. Donating the things that they are looking for, which can be everything from resources to actual crafted items, gives you a ton more clan favor than just donating other random bits and bobs. Do note that the amount of favor you can get on these items that they are looking for can vary a little bit. There are a few times where I've gotten a ton of favor, and then there was one occasion, and I don't know why, but I hardly got any favor for it at all. It was about the same as donating some random item that they're not looking for. I don't know if this is a situation of where it's a timed thing, and as soon as you discover the camp and you see what they want, you have a certain amount of time to give it to them, or the favor reduces, or if it's just a bug, or it's a situation of where the favor is random and that one just rolled a low number. But if you want to purchase things from the Navi, it is definitely favorable for you to donate the things that they are looking for. And the last tip I have for you is one of the best things that you can buy from the Navi traders is their food vendor will sell dishes, two of which will give you specific buffs that can help you with gathering. One of them gives you a buff allowing you to see the age of the wildlife around you, allowing you to easily hunt down things that are going to give you better resources, better quality resources. And the other one is the equivalent, but for all the random plants around the map. And that will allow you to see what level the plant resources are going to give you. This saves you from having to use your Navi sense and middle mouse button click or whatever it is for you to inspect it in order to see what quality it's going to give you. This buff allows you to just glance at it and see the quality that it's going to give you. This can just help speed up resource gathering a little bit overall. Taking a look at the different food recipes inside the food vendor can also give you an idea of recipe combinations for you to combine yourself to get different buffs you may be looking for. All right, that's all I have for you for this one. Hopefully you found this video helpful and informational. If you did, please consider hitting the subscribe button and notification bell so you can be notified when I upload other videos. And if you're looking for some more my content, you can find a link to another one of my videos on the screen right now. I want to give an absolute massive shout out and thank you to all of my channel supporters for helping to keep these videos sponsor free. You all are absolutely amazing people. If you would like to become an official channel supporter, check out the links in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought. If you're shy, you don't like to comment, just hit that thumbs up button and share your support. Until next time, thanks for watching.